Before we start, make sure to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Once you subscribe, don't forget to turn on notifications by clicking that bell icon so you won't miss any of my uploads. Let me know in the comments below if you subscribed and I might just reply to you. Now let's begin. Number 5. Brian and David Freeman. Brian and David Freeman, 17 and 16 years old respectively, had shaved their heads and tattooed their foreheads to symbolize their neo-Nazi beliefs. The two were held as the immediate suspects when their parents and younger brother were found dead in their home in Salisbury Township, Pennsylvania in 1995. Earlier, the two were constantly terrorizing their family and the whole town. In a horrific scenario, the two had savagely stabbed their mother to death, having blocked her mouth by stuffing a pair of shorts. Later, they beat their father and their 11-year-old brother to death using an aluminum baseball bat and a 3-foot pickaxe handle while in their sleep. Currently, the duo is in prison serving life sentences. Number 4. Edmund Kemper. Edmund Kemper shot his grandparents, killing them both in 1964 when he was only 15. He had been planning to execute this heinous act for some time, and he did not come to regret it later. He was detained in the juvenile hall by the California Youth Authority, where he was taken through thorough tests administered by a psychiatrist. After the results had proved that he was a paranoid and a psychotic, he was admitted to the Atascadero State Hospital for treatment. While in the hospital, he learned about what other people thought about his crime. This forced him to work very hard to show his doctors that he's changed. In the whole process, Kemper learned about other aberrant offenders and how they had changed. 5 years later, he was released but remained under the California Youth Authority supervision. Over the next 5 years, Kemper had dismembered and killed 8 women, but his doctors affirmed his insanity defense even though he was caught carrying parts of his victims with him. A panel of psychiatrists argued that he was no threat to society. Number 3. Joshua Phillips. Phillips was born in the city of Jacksonville, Florida. In 1998, 14 years old by then, Joshua killed his 8-year-old neighbor Maddie Clifton on 25 November 1998 and concealed her body beneath his bed. When Maddie Clifton had gone missing, Larry Grisham, another neighbor, was held accountable since he had a criminal record including 2 sexual assaults. In an attempt to show he was innocent, Joshua even offered to help in the search for the missing Maddie. 7 days later, as Joshua's mom was cleaning the house, she noticed some fluid leaking from the bed. Upon taking a closer look, she came across a dead body that had signs of trauma and multiple stabbings. Joshua defended himself, claiming that he had hit Maddie in the eye, making her scream too loud. This made him drag her into his house and hit her again using his bat, followed by stabbing her 11 times. Joshua's story didn't convince the Florida jury, and he was convicted of first-degree murder. Despite his mother's appeal, Joshua was sentenced to life imprisonment. Number 2. Mary Bell. Mary was pronounced to have strangled a young boy, Martin Brown, on 25 May 1968, only a day before celebrating her 11th birthday. During the event, Mary was alone. However, on 31 July 1968, Mary, along with her friend Norma Bell, took part in the death, again by strangulation, of 3-year-old Brian Howe. According to police reports, Mary Bell was said to have engraved a letter N into Brown's stomach using a razor blade. Mary was also accused of having cut off some of Brian Howe's hair and genitals. Since the 2 girls were too young and could not give solid evidence by then, the case was abandoned, and Martin Brown's death was ruled to have been an accident. Later, Martin Brown's death was linked with Brian Howe's death, which saw the 2 girls, Mary Bell and Norma Bell, charged with 2 manslaughter cases. Mary was released from prison in 1980 with court-ordered anonymity. Number 1. Eric Smith. Eric was only 13 years old by the time he abused and killed Derek Robbie, who was 4 by then. This horrible event took place on the 2nd of August, 1993 in Steuben County, New York. Both Derek and Eric resided in different areas of the town, but attended the same baseball field near Derek's home. On that fateful day, Derek's mother made a mistake to have let him walk alone on the block. Eric quickly convinced him to go into the forest with him. He then sexually abused and killed him. Later, Eric admitted to having done it and was charged with second-degree murder and sentenced to 9 years imprisonment. And that's it for our 5 most evil kids in history. Do you agree with our list? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one.